Air traffic control, we are cleared for takeoff. Welcome to the new and improved Pins and Wins podcast, episode 2. I am your host, Big Will. And as always, at my side, my tag team partner, Big Daddy Cool, Johnny Quest.
What up?
Next to me to my right, the mad scientist, Cap.
Hey.
And Johnny, why don't you tell who we got here with us here today?
Yes, we have a couple of guests this week. I want to introduce Money Merce from last week. You know what I'm saying? And we also
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Last episode. And we also got from Mindful Exchange, nephew in the building, CCMGs. What up? How we feeling today, fellas?
Good, man.
Good. You know, my mind was a little twisted due to some unfortunate situations with after the last episode with some hiccups. But, you know, it was actually a blessing in disguise. You know, we got the Facebook page. Shout out to my boy, Matty Ice, for creating our Facebook page.
What up?
Thank you, bro, for doing that for us.
Good luck, man.
And we got some things cooking in the shed. You know, we're gonna have some real good things happening in the future. So things are looking lovely. You know, people tried to dim our shine. You know, whether it be YouTube or whatever. You know, I got my suspicions, but you know, we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but you know, they tried to dim our shine, but it only made us shine brighter.
Yeah, you can't stop the shine we got going on. We got a movement here, you know what I'm saying? We got a brotherhood over here that you can't stop, you know what I mean? So just enjoy the show, get with the ride, get with the wave in the movement, or get out the way.
I was broken for a minute, but the support that I received afterwards, all the suggestions on how to fix it, was just outstanding, and here we are.
Yes, sir. Pins and wins.
Absolutely.
So, before we get into our show segment, first I want to say Happy Black History Month to all the melanated folks out there. You know what I'm saying?
What about the albinos?
They got melanin in them too.
They may celebrate it too. You know,
Lack of melanin.
You know, we're all about
pigment, like a pigment.
We're all about inclusion here.
Like a pigment.
Might be right.
Melanin is it? Yeah.
We are all about inclusion. I'm just saying.
Hey, but we here. That's why I'm wearing black every single episode of this month. So
That's fair. That's fair.
word up. So let's get into our show.
Of course, I'm sporting the Devin Hester. Made it to the Hall of Fame finally.
Hey.
Should have been first ballot, but
That's
you know,
crazy that he made it to the Hall of Fame. I never thought I thought he'd make it, but I didn't think it was gonna happen.
he should have been first ballot. Greatest return of all time.
Yeah, but that's,
Just saying.
he is though the greatest returner of all time.
Him and Hall for the Chiefs. He was crazy.
Oh,
bro.
Deontay Hall,
Yeah, Deontay Hall. Crazy.
the human joystick.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so boom, fellas. Now, last episode we kind of touched a little bit at the end on
I don't know if you could use that word. That's a.
touched a little bit on Mr. Vince McMahon.
I don't know if you should be saying touch.
Oh, we did.
You might want to change your wording.
We highlighted.
Yes.
We highlighted Vince McMahon in his allegations going on with SA, you know, in trafficking and what have you. But we're gonna spend a little bit of time talking about
Unfortunately.
that. Yeah. So without going into any of the gross, and I really mean gross details.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, that's an understatement. You know, that's somebody's daughter. You know, our goddaughters. You know, and it's
Daughter, sister, granddaughter.
Yeah, it's
know.
bad, man. I couldn't imagine. But you know what? We're gonna get into that, and let's start off. Will, what would you like to add and discuss with that situation?
So for those that might not know what's going on, so Vince McMahon has been accused by a former employee by the name of Janelle Grant that he basically preyed on her, that he wooed her, so to speak, and that he offered her employment, and he kept approaching her for a relationship, after him and Linda pretty much split up.
Yeah. Do you know why it was so easy for him though to get her
Because her parents had passed in, I believe it was some type of accident, but her parents were deceased and she was down and out.
by herself?
And so
Young, too. She was
he
very
kept
young.
offering her a lot of incentives, to make her life better. And anybody in her situation, she's young and has a billionaire offering her a better life, would consider it.
I'm considering it right now.
Clothes, pampering, presents, gifts, things that a $1 billion playboy would do.
But then he made it uncomfortable. I mean, when you got somebody who's old enough to be your grandfather offer you uncomfortable situations and then tells you that if you want to keep your job, you got to do this. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And then it got even worse. For other executives, he basically passed her around like a pack of cigarettes that, during a cigarette break, do you want her? Here you go. Here you go. And during negotiations with other people, if you agree, you can have her.
Yeah, and that person was the one that's been not named, but what's the word I'm looking for?
Implicated?
Yeah,
Maybe?
yeah, that's the word. So it was. They said that he passed her to as a gift to get their star to resign at the time, and they said in the paperwork that it was a former UFC world champion, and there's only been one of those inside of.
I wonder who that could be.
Well, let's clarify his part of it, and we'll mention the name.
Yeah.
We're talking about Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, but that's the way it was positioned. His name wasn't actually in the paperwork, but it was, kind of insinuated that it was this person.
And his part of it is that I guess he's got a fetish, and his fetish is he wanted to see her urinate.
Yeah,
He
that's
wanted
right.
a video of her urinating,
Yeah.
and that's what he wanted. As weird as that is, but
R. Kelly shit.
it is what it is.
That's a big boy to be. That's crazy.
Yeah, and which is weird because he's married to Sable.
Right,
So
right.
whatever.
Who is?
Brock Lesnar is
I did
married.
not know that.
Yeah, he's married to Sable.
I still got her Playboy issue somewhere.
Shoot.
But and he also gave her as a gift to John Laurinaitis, who was the executive vice president of talent relation for the WWE, and also the stepdad to the Bella twins.
Oh yeah.
So, and he's also named in all of this as well. So, and that led to him leaving the company and all of that. And so, here's my feeling on all of this, and the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because eventually I wanted to stay away from this, but after hearing more and more and more, I just couldn't do it anymore.
Elephant in the room of wrestling right now.
Well, the elephant got, Dumbo on steroids.
Facts.
So anybody that knows me knows there are 3 loves in my life: my wife and kids, the Chicago Bears, and professional wrestling. And not only just professional wrestling, it's the WWE. I bleed WWE. I've watched other promotions, but WWE is always first. No promotion will ever surpass WWE, ever. It's since like I said, when I was 8 years old, I started watching wrestling. Hulk Hogan. It is always. I've watched WCW. I've watched TNA. I've watched now AEW. But none of them will ever surpass WWE.
It's the standard.
Unless it
WWF, WWE is the standard for sure.
Unless some freak of nature, it goes out of business. So I equate this to how we mentioned last show of finding out Santa Claus is not real.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent of finding out that Santa Claus is a criminal.
Yeah. I like the way you put
He's
that.
getting arrested for breaking into your house
He's doing more than coming down
and
the chimney.
sexually assaulting your mother and your grandmother.
Yeah.
Or for a Star Wars nut finding out that George Lucas has done something like this. This is my world. I live and breathe wrestling. It's all I do is I talk wrestling.
Makes you second guess what you fell in love with. You know what I mean? The curator of what your passion is. Yeah. You know what I mean? It makes you look at things in a different light. Like, man, I really enjoyed that nasty, disgusting human being's creation. You know, can I separate what he brought to my childhood, my youth, my imagination? You know, can I separate the two? That's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
You know,
And my bad.
so I kind of look at it like you gotta respect just like they craft, and the shit they do outside their craft is two different things. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
It's like a boxer. You know what I'm saying? A boxer could be a great boxer, but outside the ring could be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? And do some wild shit. But you still gotta respect that he's a champion. You know what I'm saying? Because that ain't had nothing to do with, you know what I mean, his job.
Yeah, and what makes it tough though is that his character blurred the lines, you know, because he's actually the orchestrator of the whole reality of it.
Yeah.
And he's been in the front, you know, in the mix of it. He's not like he's just been on the outside, you know, pulling the strings. Like he's a character.
And that's the craziest thing. If you think about the Mr. McMahon character,
I was just thinking
he's always been that. The Kiss My Ass Club, the making Trish Stratus strip down naked and bark like a dog in the ring, and having his wife in a wheelchair in the ring while he's trying to make out with another woman, and he was a sleazebag in his professional wrestling life. So it's believable that. You know, I heard on the radio the other day that they say professional wrestlers are an extension of their actual personality.
Yeah, on steroids, something
So
like that.
So it makes sense that the Mr. McMahon character was just an extension of the
man that Vince.
Forgive me for saying this, the douchebag known as Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I was listening to a Vince Russo podcast. I listened to this podcast, and he had highlighted a thing saying that, you know, Vince had told me that if you knew who I really was, Vince, you wouldn't like me. You know what I'm saying?
Is anybody shocked though? Because like to reiterate and kind of piggyback off what Big Will was saying, look at like the bra and panty matches, the lingerie matches. He's always been a misogynistic type of person.
Yeah.
I mean, so when I seen the news, I was like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I did too.
It didn't shock me whatsoever.
I mean, he wanted to do an incest storyline with Stephanie when she was pregnant. That Stephanie was pregnant by Shane, and then when Shane said no, he said, "Fine, we'll do that. She's pregnant by me."
Are you kidding me?
I'm
That's
not.
crazy.
That's nasty.
And in actuality, that's why Shane McMahon left the company.
I never knew why that was, and I never knew about that. That's disgusting.
Because he tried to get Shane to be part of it, and Shane said no.
That actually is shocking. That shocks me.
That's crazy.
That's a little crazy. But I mean, he's so rich and powerful. He's been able to get away with everything he's done. I mean, it's just it's a mindset. I mean, he said the N-word on live TV.
He did?
Yeah, with Booker T segment when he was like, "What up, my nigga?"
No.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Like,
I remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been getting away with everything.
I remember that.
Oh, shit.
I remember that.
Yo, that's wild.
Speaking of podcast, I listen to the Busted Open podcast all the time. I love that show. And they made a very sad comment that with all of this, you cannot talk about the WWE without the McMahon name stained.
Yeah.
How is that fair to Stephanie and Shane?
Their kids, their grandkids. Shane's son is about to go D1.
Yes,
He
to
already
North
did.
Carolina.
Yeah, North
He's
Carolina.
got 2 kids playing.
Yeah, his son, Shane's son Declan goes to Indiana, and then his other son just committed to North Carolina.
I can't imagine.
Yeah,
Now, can those colleges be like, "Hey, now we rescind our offer and all that"?
Nah,
They could, but I don't think they
I don't
would.
think they will. I think it's just something that the embarrassment and shame that he brought to the McMahon name is something that is unavoidable for the rest of their lives.
It's
Your
equivalent to
grandfather's
yeah, it's equivalent to like the girl whose nude picture got leaked in high school, and now everybody's pointing and laughing. Yeah, it's like that.
Here is the.
Do you guys see his family denouncing him and like stepping?
Well, they already have.
Oh,
if
they
you
have?
really think about it, because
Damn.
They were doing it years
Stephanie
ago.
left the company. Shane left the company because he didn't want to participate with his father, so he left the company that he was raised in. So
He was a hell of a wrestler too.
and that's the sad thing as well. Shane climbed to a top of a
Yes,
Titantron
man.
and leaped his body off of a Titantron, off of a human being, and practically killed himself.
Tough, yeah, man.
He had Kurt Angle throw him through a plate glass for the entertainment of WWE fans. And can you really talk about that now because of his horrible father?
He was very underrated. Shane was a great wrestler, dude.
Well,
Very entertaining.
A lot of the separation, from what my understanding is that they knew about this stuff that was going on, you know, when it was happening. That's when they started actually distancing themselves from their dad. So before it came to the spotlight now, you know, my question was, which we all are like, hold on, how could he let $3 million owed as an NDA hush money contract? How did this billionaire let this hush money?
That's crazy.
Yeah. How do you let $3 million leak out all of these nasty skeletons in your closet?
Can I say something? I don't know as much about wrestling as you young fellas, but I know about hustling and being up and being down. So he's a billionaire, isn't he?
Billions on billions.
With a B.
So it's almost like one of you guys mentioned that control shit earlier. Like he has a serious control issue.
Complex, yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. It's like he couldn't allow somebody else to force him to do something he didn't want to do.
Like a
makes
mafia
sense.
boss.
Because if you have billions, if I hit your car, right, and you like, oh, you better pay me. If I got billions, I'm getting that out the way real
Right
quick.
now.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go to court and do all this extra.
I mean, I've watched The Sopranos, and you know how many times on that show did he do a lot of crooked stuff, and he nearly got caught, and he made it go away by doing other underhanded stuff. So the question is, what else did he do to make stuff go away?
Yeah, but here's the thing with this little $3 million that he only paid her $1 million, right? We were under the assumption that he said, here's $1 million, I'll give the rest to you later, right? Like that's the way it sounded. Well, I was listening to Vince Russo, who used to work very close with Vince McMahon, and he shed light to his, people that he gets his information from. And what happened is that the company that now runs the financial and owns the WWE's finances, I think they're called Endeavor.
They own them in AEW.
AEW. So what happened was it was speculated that Endeavor was the one that stopped paying the victim because it was coming out of a fund of financial in their department.
So it wasn't even come from his wallet.
It wasn't even coming from his wallet.
That's some Trump shit.
It was coming from the WWE. So what happened was they ultimately always wanted to kick Vince out of the equation. They wanted to take what he created and get him the hell out of there. But it was difficult for them to do that because when he created the stock shares, at the incubation of WWF, when they started getting on fire, he made sure his family shares held X amount or more weight.
Majority.
The majority weight of anybody else that comes and gets shares moving forward. So it was hard to get them up out that seat. This is what happened. We're going to stop the payments, and we're hoping that the young lady is going to be like, where's my paper at? And who knows, behind the scenes, somebody, hey, we stopped the paper, but we can get you more. You know what I mean? We don't know what really happened off record, but we know what's going on. All we need for you to do is X, Y, and Z. Like, that's very well possible. But it was more simplistic. I mean, it was more than just what I thought simply was, I have $3 million. I'm only going to give you one of those, and you better get it out the mud.
And here's the uncomfortable question that I have, and I want to make this abundantly clear. I am in no way saying that her allegations are false.
Oh, no.
I want to make that perfectly clear before I ask this question. What I am wondering is why she waited until after she stopped being paid to come forward.
because
They probably had an NDA.
they did.
But still,
it was an agreement. Yeah.
does that mean the NDA no longer exists?
Yeah, if you break the contract, if you don't get the money, the NDA is.
Okay,
it's all in the contract,
that's
yeah.
why I'm asking, because I don't understand NDAs and how that works.
Non-disclosures. You can't there's tons of people have non-disclosures for for a variety of things, but if the contract's broke, it's null and void.
So I just wanted to make that clear. I'm not saying that she's not telling the truth. It was why.
Why wait?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, you got to also factor in that girl's been traumatized. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what she's doing to numb the pain.
Plus, also,
All these years, you know what I'm saying?
did you also hear the newest one of that? They knew about the female wrestler Ashley Massaro had gotten sexually assaulted on a trip overseas to a military base, and she reported that it was covered up by Vince and WWE management. That was another thing that came about recently with all of this.
Not surprised.
So the one thing that I will give Vince credit, even though he's a horrible human being, is that he left right away. He didn't keep that cloud over the company and say, I'm going to fight this and I'm going to stick around and you guys can't get rid of me.
Well, he couldn't because them text messages came out. If there was no evidence in the text messages, maybe he does do that. But the texts were so damning. He's like, I mean.
Yeah, and they asked him too. What's the name? The R.E. Emanuel and Nick Khan. They actually said, you know what? I think it would be in the best interest if you separate yourself. Like, from my understanding, is that it wasn't something hard that they had to get him out. It was kind of like, all right, you got me type situation.
Cookie in the hand jar.
Yeah, you got me.
A hand in the cookie jar. Jesus
You know what
Christ.
I'm saying? Yeah, so I
You
mean,
should see Nick Khan's yacht. That's off topic, but.
Yeah.
And I
it's
think
amazing.
also a lot of it had to do with they almost lost Slim Jim as a sponsor for the Royal Rumble 2 days before the event because this news came about. So they weren't going to lose money out of their pockets. So, you know.
and all of Brock Lesnar's memorabilia and stuff is like 99% off on the website.
And word is that they're going to remove, they're going to try to eliminate his records and everything, which is kind of sad because all he wanted to do was see somebody pee.
Well, I mean, you involved in it, fam. Like, I mean, they took him off the front of 2K, the WWE 2K24 that's coming out in a couple months. I'm surprised that he's still even in the game, but they're just not, you know.
They took him off of the intro video for Monday Night Raw. They replaced it with LA Knight.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's an unfortunate thing, a very ugly stain, but you know, on the bright side, we got the action plan in place to overcome that, which The Rock had to step in.
He's always the savior.
So
Always.
let's pivot into, you know, this Cody, Rock, Roman, you know what I mean, situation and dance going on.
Let's
Greatest of all time, man.
Let's go from the dark into the light.
All right, set us off, Phil. Where you want to go with this?
All right. So after Friday, when Cody came out to the ring and said that, you know, he wanted the title, but he did want it at WrestleMania, I was pissed.
And that was on SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown.
That is correct. Because if you were not going to face Roman at WrestleMania, this is my mindset on Friday after SmackDown. If you were not going to face Roman at WrestleMania, why didn't you just accept Seth's challenge on Monday Night Raw? I was from the end of SmackDown on Friday until about 7:30 on, what was it, on Saturday they had the press conference?
Was it Saturday? Yeah.
No, correction, Thursday.
Thursday?
Because it was on my day off.
Oh, yeah.
So from Friday to 7:30, I thought it was a horrible idea. Now, don't get me wrong. Seeing The Rock versus Roman was a match I've always wanted because it needed to happen. Tribal chief versus a real tribal chief, because The Rock is really a tribal chief. That his family made him a tribal chief. But it was the way they did it. You know, Cody wins the Rumble, and then he's just going to step aside. Rock comes out, and he just gets the match.
Hey, but you know what, though? We were just talking about that stain with Vince. They had to have a distraction, and we had to have something to blanket this very loud
But like I
elephant.
said-
That's why he came back.
You
But
know,
like I said, the match itself made sense. It was the way they presented it that I win the Rumble. I want your belt, but I'm not taking it at WrestleMania. I'm going to face Seth.
it's bigger than me.
Then why not accept Seth's match on Monday and not have that situation at all, and just
Theatrics.
have the Rock
Exactly.
come out?
Yo, listen,
Theatrics,
it's theatrics. At the end of the day, we can't forget, and this is how invested we are and how great of a product they have. We are emotionally involved in this to where we feel this way, but Cody ultimately has to understand that what's bigger and better for the company and the state well-being of the business, which is I got to go along with it. I got to, follow the script, because The Rock had to come in with his cape on.
But here's why there was an issue with that. It made him look like a bitch because he won the Royal
That's a whole
Rumble
fact. That's a whole fact.
2 years in a row, which hasn't been done in over 20 years. And they keep talking about, finish the story, which I'm getting sick
I'm
and
tired of that goddamn
I am
story.
so sick and tired of hearing, I got to finish the story. I got to finish the story. Because don't get me wrong. I want to see him win the title. I have no problem with that. But, and I keep getting pushback from a lot of people. No one can ever tell me that you would be invested in his story if, one, he did not create AEW and he was not the son of Dusty Rhodes. Otherwise, he's just another wrestler that left the company and returned.
And he's a third generation, was he third or second? Whatever generation he is, without that.
His brother Goldust.
Oh yeah.
So without
Which-
that,
favorite wrestlers,
there's a
by the
lot of his cachet is on his name in the history of his pops.
So, I mean, and his knowledge of the business, he's a genius. And that's why AEW worked at the beginning. It was because of him. And so it made sense of everybody wanting Cody, even though they booed him in AEW when he was getting ready to leave. So it was like, AEW fans, we hate Cody now. We hate Cody. But he goes to WWE. Oh, we love you. Yay. Cody's here. Let's have him beat. But he can only beat Roman. And then they create the second belt because nobody can beat Roman. And
That was mainly because Roman became a part-timer. And he held that belt for hostage. And
But he became a part-timer for one main reason, because there was not a suitable person in the main event roster of the WWE that could step to him.
I think CM Punk would have been a good one.
John Cena was brought back, but John Cena's a part-timer. Brock Lesnar was brought back. Brock Lesnar was a part-timer. He beat them all. They tried it with Drew McIntyre.
right.
They did multiple matches.
His movement now is way better than it ever was. But that's a side note. He would be ready right now with turning heel, middle of that hill, and
But they tried it with Drew McIntyre. So you have one person as a main event guy. That's the problem with professional wrestling right now. You've got a ton of mid-carders, but no real main eventers. And I'm sorry, Roman Reigns is a megastar.
yeah.
They tried it with LA Knight. Didn't work. They tried it with Kevin Owens. Didn't work. They tried it with Sami Zayn. Didn't work.
You know
They're
why?
not at Roman's level.
Nah, you know what it is? It's not that they're not at their level. It's the presentation. What do they look like physically? Roman has the size. There's a certain look when you're a bigger dude, filled out, strong, and he has swag now.
Well, that's not really true because
that's
Stone
right,
Cold
yeah,
Steve Austin really didn't have that size that they had, but he had
No, he had size.
He had the personality. He had the crowd at the palm of his hands, to where he had that mega stardom that he could carry the company.
There was a lot of them at one time at the time. That was the difference too.
That's the best era ever.
That, like they had more than one. They only not to to talk over. It's hard to compare that era with this era because there's only really one megastar, and
That's what Big Will's saying.
yeah, that's what they created. But I still don't think that negates the fact that he didn't wrestle so much, that he doesn't wrestle as much.
And that was the problem that they made when he was just the Universal Champion on SmackDown.
Yeah.
He was there all the time.
Yeah.
But then when they unified the titles, that's when he became a part-timer because they had nobody from both shows to really step to him. Because on Raw, they had Brock Lesnar to show up every now and then and defend the Raw title. And then they had Roman Reigns all the time versus an opponent.
Is that due to a lack of talent? Or what do you think? Go ahead, man.
I mean, I also feel like just because it's his reign, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to also take into account, like, he's the face of the business, you know what I'm saying? And if he got a crazy reign, I said this to my homies, like, bro, he's only going to lose the title at a WrestleMania. So when you think about that, like, that's a whole year. Now, if he don't lose it in his first WrestleMania defending, which he won't, you know what I'm saying? That's another year.
Yeah, he did
You know
that
what I'm
last
saying?
WrestleMania,
Like,
right?
No, so he's had the title for 3 years now.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
It's like
know what I'm
is it
saying?
the third or the fifth longest reign, something like that?
I think
third. I heard
It's
it's
the
the
third.
I heard it's
It
the
might be
third,
the
yeah.
third.
And I think they want him to pass Hulk Hogan. And in order to do that, he's got to make it to September. So I don't think he's losing at WrestleMania regardless.
I wouldn't have him lose it. I wouldn't have him lose it either because. Go ahead, you got something?
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, because I like Cody's wave. He's great in the ring and what have you. He has a great backstory, all of that stuff.
Right.
I feel like what makes Cody so appealing is that he's chasing something and he keeps coming up short and keeps getting roadblocks. Once he gets it,
It's relatable.
it's relatable because we're all going through that as individuals in our own main stories as the main character. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I kind of got an issue with
takes it
how
to
long
special
his reign is. Passing somebody like Hogan, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't have him as iconic as like a Hogan or a Rock or somebody like I don't think he's that caliber of wrestler. He's might be popular now, but he's not like there's God level, and like Hogan is a God level wrestler. I don't think he should pass Hogan.
I feel if he was like wrestling, because remember he was going through the COVID era too. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling in them empty arenas. When them empty arenas was popping, nobody was really checking for wrestling all crazy.
Facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you got to take into account to that too, man. Like,
And listen, bro. Like, I know what you're saying because I thought the same thing. That's why I spent the last month or so catching up to why has he got it like this? Like, I know he's the guy that they hitched their wagon to, but his swag, bro. His swag and his ring presence and the way they turn him into the middle of the road heel and baby face, like, and he can tilt it, like he's just he's just that nigga.
I was saying, like, damn, for him to lose right now would be like, damn, because I'm really just getting into his whole reign. Like, he got it right now. Like,
But am I wrong though? Like, is
I
he that
kind
tier?
of disagree with you on that.
So okay,
And so here's the reason why. Hulk Hogan, like I said, reason why I got into loving professional wrestling.
Right.
But if you really think about it, Hulk Hogan kept the title as long as he did because there was nobody else.
yeah, Warrior.
fact.
And also,
Was it? Hold on. I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, he had Warrior.
There was a lot of dudes back then that could have had it had they had to push, but Hogan had the whole
Eat your
machine
vitamins.
behind him. You know, the song, The Real American. Man, that music alone.
but that's what I'm talking about.
Hogan
He
was
was
his
at
guy,
that
bro.
level, and there was nobody else to that level in the 80s.
Warrior. I
it wa-
disagree.
But that's
Macho,
when they took it from him.
Macho was the first one. Macho was
Andre
the
the
first.
Giant?
And that's when it started to change.
he was
But
on
I'm
his way
talking
out.
about early on Hogan when Hulkamania was born.
Yeah.
He had it because there was nobody else.
No, he had the most charisma. That's what he
So
had.
from WrestleMania 1 to like WrestleMania 3, he was the guy. And that's why in WrestleMania 3, they put him against Andre the Giant because you had the biggest guy in the world
Right.
running out of opponents. So who do we put him up against? The most iconic wrestler in the history of the wrestling business that nobody could beat, who's undefeated for 15 years. So him beating him put him at a whole nother level, which is in all honesty what I think they're going to do with Roman when he does eventually face The Rock. because when he beats The Rock and becomes the true tribal chief, that's going to take him to a level of
I was just about to say that, Big Will.
And then Jay
to-
comes back and
Who?
Then Jay comes back to finish everything off.
I was just about to say that because Roman hasn't had that torch pass moment like how The Rock had when he beat Hogan. That's what I mean by mega superstar.
I see what
like,
you're saying.
It was passed down from Hogan to The Rock.
Yeah.
Like he was the guy, and I think that match has to happen because he has to have the torch. Even though I get tears of joy when I watch old wrestling clips, bro. I swear to God, like I'll literally start crying, bro.
Word up.
And so I've always been a Rock dude, so I'm gonna hate to see him lose. But Roman has to have that to be that
and it
level,
needs to
like
be
Big Will
done
said.
with no interference.
It does. It has to be clean.
But I also think like they giving us a whole nother chapter of this bloodline thing, which is dope.
Yep.
We about to get heel Rock back, bro.
But so
like,
to
what? Oh, heel Rock, like when he was like Nation of Domination, heel Rock, like come on.
And he's
Oh,
here
with
to
the
stay.
Versace shirt, he'll rock too.
You know
Yo,
what I'm saying?
but he's here to stay as far as like, because the word is they really want to make it Hollywood. Like with getting Vince out of the equation, they really want to ante it up and make it global more than it already is, and they want to make it very Hollywood more so. Like that's why they have the Logan Paul.
That dude's
Bad
dope.
Bunny, you know, they're really trying to get other people, and they showed out.
Was Vince McMahon preventing them from being that Hollywood before, or was it something you think they would want to wait for him
I
to
think
be?
he was preventing the certain people from getting the push they deserve.
Yeah,
So because
he was the sole
in
controller.
NXT, Triple H would create them, and then when they came to the main roster,
Yeah.
Vince McMahon was calling the shots, and I think he would not let the people that shined in NXT, which was kind of like the developmental. When they came to the main roster out of spite because Triple H did it better than he did. So it's like,
I ain't gonna lie.
with all due respect, because I see the hat, Bill Belichick basically overstayed his welcome about the fact that the reason why he didn't get hired this coaching cycle is because he does not relate to the players now. Triple H relates to the wrestlers today. And that's why the product got better when Vince McMahon got pushed out the door.
You know, it's crazy with Vince, and this probably sums it up why he thinks the way he thinks. The amount of power he has, like wrestlers, the contracts they sign, they're considered independent contractors. So they don't get benefits. There's no health insurance. Like they can't wrestle anywhere else. So he literally had everybody in a chokehold. Like whatever Vince said, you
Monopoly
had
of
to
it
do.
all, yeah.
So like it's like some of the best coaches, like even we'll say basketball, even football.
Eric
some of the
Spoelstra.
best coaches, you know what I'm saying, who are the people who played. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The game has played the game. You know what I'm saying? He's been in them locker rooms, done all of the, everything that you can think of in the game of wrestling. So you guys say like he's gonna do the job better. You
Yeah,
know
but
what I'm saying?
where you're slightly off on that, the best coaches are people who played but not at a high level. If you look at anybody who's been at a high level, they suck at coaching.
I
Yeah.
don't know, bro.
Name
Like,
one.
Magic Johnson
What about
wasn't a
Prime?
very good.
Phil,
What about Prime?
Colorado
that's
just
fine.
went 4-8.
but that's bro.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
Let
That's
me
his-
stick
this is
to
first
doing
season
what I do
overall,
over here.
But wasn't
he's
this
not
his first
wrong.
season? This was probably first season with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
with
so
them.
like give him a season.
Well, he
would be the
brought
only
people
one.
with him. I mean, he brought his son with him, and
mean,
then
it ain't gonna be
he hit
perfect.
the transfer portal like it
Hard.
was going out of style.
No, hold on, Cap. I think you were right though, because it's where he was at when he was at the Black
Jackson State.
He did very well there, so he was successful as a head coach there. Then he went over. He just tried to level up a little bit, and he just got to work his way through it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
you're right.
he would
though.
still be the only one. Like Larry Bird sucked.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson sucked.
No.
Jordan-
Larry Bird didn't suck.
Larry Bird.
He was average.
No. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals as well, because they lost to us in 2000 in Indiana. Yeah, he had Reggie and them. He had them boys.
Shit, what
playing.
if it's easier to highlight somebody that has actually played at a high level as opposed to someone that didn't play at a high level, because there's more pressure on the people that achieved high levels during their playing years?
You know what
I
they
mean?
say? They say it's because they expect them to be able to do what they did.
Yeah.
And nobody can do it. Like Jordan's a horrible owner because he expects them to do what Jordan did.
Oh, I
but
see what
they
you
can't-
mean.
they
That's
can't.
crazy.
You know what I mean?
And I think another reason why Triple H succeeded is he did what some of those coaches in other sports did not do. He surrounded himself with the elite along with him. He brought Shawn Michaels with him to produce.
Icon.
He brought the Road Dogg with him.
We were just talking about
his
Road Dogg.
trainers. He had the guys that were the tops train the next generations. Like he had Scott Hall and Kevin Nash train Damian Priest.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because he had big guys work with top big
That's
guys.
smart.
That's smart.
So
dope.
that's why when Damian Priest first joined the Judgment Day, when he was coming to the ring, you would see him do the Scott Hall.
Oh, the look.
That was
I
after
didn't know
Scott
that.
Hall passed. That was him paying respect because Scott Hall trained him within NXT. He gave him
dope.
advice.
I had no clue.
So he would get the right people because he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Instead of just getting.
He was a great delegator.
Yeah.
You know what
Instead
I'm
of
saying?
Vince getting John Laurinaitis, who was a bum, who was just a yes man to do whatever he wanted him to do, because Vince is a genius, but he didn't know the in and outs of being in the ring like Triple H did.
Yeah.
So Triple H knew the theatrics of. I watched the thing of him working with Finn Balor when Finn Balor first joined the company in NXT of how to do his entrance. I mean, you had a guy that was doing great on the indies in New Japan, but he comes to the WWE and doesn't understand the theatrics of U.S. wrestling.
Yeah.
So he works with guys that know what to do, and look at him now.
Yeah, for sure. You had something, nephew? I thought.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Big Will's passion about wrestling, like honestly, what's the word I'm looking? Reinvigorated my spirit to like start watching wrestling.
You
again.
be using big words.
Yo, that's because we read.
I'm sorry.
Inside joke, fellas.
I got wrestling in the veins.
But I'm glad you said that, Neff, because I've been watching nothing but wrestling because of you. And since you asked me to be a part of your vision and your dream, and I love it. Like, it's been my most greatest escape this last month, bro. Like, I'm addicted to it. I love it. It's dope, man.
Like I said, you can ask my boy Matty Ice. We're at work, and I'm bugging him talking about wrestling while he's like, "Dude, I'm trying to work. I don't care. I want to talk wrestling."
That's how it used to be when I was a jit. Like growing up, my brother was always a Stone Cold guy. I was a Rock guy, and we would literally get into fist fights if like Stone Cold beat The Rock, or if The Rock beat Stone Cold, or like we would literally get into fist fights, bro.
Yo, you're lucky. When we worked at the call center together, I didn't know you guys were into wrestling. I would have.
Yo, you'd have
Bugged the heck out of you guys.
you'd have my job all fucked up because I've been talking about wrestling
Between
all
wrestling and fantasy football at Sitel, it would have been crazy.
It was a wrap.
Yo, we should create a fantasy wrestling league. Yo, you pick a wrestler. You
That's
pick
a
a
good
couple
idea.
of wrestlers. If they win a match, you get points. You lose a match, you get points.
Or
that
like you
sounds
get points for slams or finishing moves,
Yo, that
shit like
sounds
that.
kind of dope.
I'm just saying.
That's a good idea.
That's a show.
That's a good idea.
Yo, that's dope.
Just saying.
you,
All
might,
right, so-
you might have to get that trademark like now after
Yeah.
the show.
I'm just saying.
You got something, Mercy? You about to say something?
Nah, like that's I like that.
I like that too.
I like that.
All right, so before we move on, we still had to talk about the other gender side. So what happened with Bailey? You know, we're gonna be brief with it because we still got to talk about the bowl. You know what I mean? So what happened with Bailey and Damage Control?
Hashtag, I could write this shit. Did I or did I not tell you that the Damage
tape.
Control
Check the
or
tape.
Io, Asuka, and Kyrie were going to turn on Bailey and she was going to pick her as her opponent for WrestleMania? It made perfect sense.
You and my wife were on the same page. I told you that. Like I was
She unless AJ Lee had returned at the Rumble, she was the only logical choice to win the Royal Rumble.
Right.
Because here's the thing that that makes no sense about the other part about the press conference. Where was she? Because you had Rhea Ripley, you had Bianca Belair, and you had Becky. Yeah. You did not have the person that won the Rumble. So the question is, did they give away the result of Elimination Chamber of having Becky talk trash and say at WrestleMania it's going to be the man versus mommy.
Yeah, they did. They have to.
And then what was the point of having Bianca Belair there? Because I understand she's got a reality show, but where was Bayley?
Bailey, they had to leave and save for what they had to have her on the other night. Which was it? Was it SmackDown?
But they already got the match.
Yeah, I know.
So they could have had both of them there and had a confrontation.
Theatrics, baby. Yeah. Theatrics, man. They still got a show to run. They still got to, you know what I mean? They can't show everything at all hands. Like, they have to save some.
They got to string you along.
Yeah, they got to string you along. Because that question you have right there, they had to have that there. They did that strategically.
And again, I'm going to say this to my wife. I love you. Please forgive me for what I'm about to say. But the pants...
Who had them on?
Bailey's pants on Friday.
Son, stop
Dear
playing.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Yo, you lucky she had that trench coat on, fam.
Cat, please show the picture.
Yo, son, her man made her put that trench coat on.
Yo, I normally don't like chicks with muscles, but that Jade Cargill chick does it for me, bro. Bro, she does it for me, bro.
Yo, Bailey, she was teasing. She was teasing niggas, man.
I'm just saying that.
Yo, she thick. She thick.
Just saying.
She ain't Nikita Lyons
Look
chick.
at look. Oh. Did you just say Nikita Lyons?
Bruh.
She's one of the baddest chicks on the planet. On the planet.
Oh, yeah, the one.
Yeah, she's one of the baddest chicks on the
Look
planet.
at him, man.
Yo, she eat good.
Yeah, bro.
She eat good.
Right?
She eat good, man.
She's one of the baddest chicks on the planet.
Shout out to the thick wrestlers. Word up,
And
man.
whoever picked her wardrobe, thank you.
Yo, she know what she doing.
You deserve a bonus.
Yep.
I think a lot of them do their own wardrobe.
Yeah.
Then you deserve a bonus.
right,
Triple H put a bonus in their check.
All right, so if y'all don't mind, let's transition to the Super Bowl preview. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
in
2 more hours.
Yeah, man. What you got on the Super Bowl now? What you feeling about the Super Bowl? What's your prediction? What you
San
think?
Francisco's got the better team by far, but I never bet against Patrick Mahomes. So, with that being said, I got Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl 24-17.
24-17.
Middle fingers up to the Chiefs, but it's hard to go against a nigga like Brady. You know what I'm saying? This era's Brady. You know what I'm saying? So,
How much of it is manufactured? How much is just them playing?
I've never seen anybody play quarterback better than Patrick Mahomes.
bro, I feel like a lot of it's manufactured.
What
because
part?
we
What
see-
part you think? What part you think?
Bro, I feel like there's certain refs, you know what I'm saying, placed in certain games to make certain things go certain ways. You know what I'm saying?
Holding.
What did I say last time?
What you say?
The NFL wanted Taylor Swift.
Oh, you did say that.
You,
bro.
And
yo,
if
you
the
did
Chiefs
say that
win,
too,
you
said
bro.
that shit.
Spooky.
If
He
the
is.
Chiefs
Did I
win,
or did I not
Travis
say?
Kelce proposes in the middle of the field with confetti coming down.
Chiefs give
you
up
know what I'm saying?
180.
Say that again, Murs.
I said if the Chiefs win, Travis Kelce's proposing with confetti coming down in the middle
Y'all
of
want
the
to play
field.
some
That
bets?
would
Wanna
make
put some
sense.
bets on it?
I
I
can
got
see it.
$2.
Yeah, I'm
But
with that.
she's only been
I'm
on
with it.
camera like 23 seconds.
I'm with
It
$2.
doesn't matter.
Bro, how long they been messing around though?
It doesn't matter.
A while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
But it's not like they show her all the time.
September.
It doesn't
This
matter.
September.
Well, they make
Isaiah
it. She's the,
Pacheco
I
scores
mean, they
a
got
touchdown.
money, so they like we just gonna do it.
yo, she's a main cog in what they talk about with the Chiefs. Like she's part. You would think she's a chief. The way they have
Yeah,
her.
'cause she's like the biggest pop star on the planet. They
Yeah.
got to talk about her.
I know, but-
nobody said anything when they cut to Patrick Mahomes' wife after he throws a touchdown.
Okay.
Nobody said nothing.
Isaiah
but because
Pa-
it's Taylor Swift, now it's elevated.
Yeah.
So
cut the people's
Isaiah
spouses all the time.
Pacheco scores a touchdown.
Yo,
They don't show the Chiefs. They don't show Andy Reid's reaction.
They show a high
They
five.
don't show Patrick Mahomes' reaction. Who do they show? They show Taylor Swift's reaction.
Giving a high five in the stands. But she's only been on TV for 23 seconds.
It doesn't matter.
just pivoting off of that real quick, bro.
man.
You see the look in Pacheco's eyes, bro.
What?
Yo, bro,
what
he's a savage. He's ready to run through anything right now.
I mean, I'm happy
He's
for him.
like that.
Bro, he's like that, bro. Like he's got something off, bro. Like, yo, bro. You all right? So look, like, watch if you get a chance, just go ahead and watch, like the first day where both teams get in that little press conference thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And Pacheco's over there talking with bro. He's got a stare in his eyes, bro. Let's play right now. Bro, he's waving
No
at the
pads.
camera
We
with
going
the
to the
mic.
asphalt.
He looking at the camera with the dance stream like, yeah, we ready to go.
So what's it going to take for the Niners to overcome the machine of Kansas City? Well,
2 words: Christian McCaffrey.
He took the words out of my mouth.
He's the key to the whole thing. That's why I think San Francisco's winning. If Christian McCaffrey goes off,
How many touches does he need?
what's that?
How many touches does he need?
As many as possible.
Over 30?
Oh yeah.
He gets that.
Because
and they got weapons, like I said.
so
They got bad
here's the
weapons.
reason why I say that. Because Kansas City's defense is not good enough to stop him and then stop Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle altogether. Because Purdy will carve them up if Christian McCaffrey is on his game.
Do we got the 2 best tight ends in the league playing this game?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
And Kittle's going to want to make a point because
Kittle's a savage.
He is,
Like you were talking about
he's going
Pacheco's
to
eyes.
channel his
Kittle's-
inner WWE. He was at WrestleMania.
Like Kittle literally looks like he catches his food live, bro.
Guaranteed he's going to do
No
the
gun,
zero.
just grabs the deer by the throat and chokes it and then cooks it, bro.
Yo, so who's playing the Chicago Bulls versus the New York Jets?
It's the Kansas.
Look, yeah, yo, football fans get so disrespected, like when you say the wrong shit.
I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss a
I was
memo?
about to have to run up out this.
Yo,
Yo, I was
Kansas
about to
City
hit
Chiefs.
you with a phenomenal forearm right now.
Hey, off topic, but real quick, I just, y'all got me in this wrestling mood. What's y'all's favorite finisher of all time?
I think, did we talk about that last time?
No, we talked about favorite wrestlers.
Wrestlers.
Mine is the Plural River Plunge. That was my favorite finisher ever.
I'm edgy.
Ahmed.
Good
What's that?
wrestle for shit, but
What's that?
It sets up like a pedigree, but then he flips you up into a power bomb.
Yeah, that was a nuts.
You look like you've done that to a few people, bro.
I might have.
You look very passionate about
might-
that move.
I mean, I'm biased, man. Scorpion Deathlock.
Like it.
It's a figure
What is
four.
that?
No, it's not. It's a Scorpion Deathlock.
it's the figure 4. No, correction. It's the sharpshooter.
No,
it's the early sharpshooter.
No, it's the Scorpion Deathlock, my
Don't get him
nigga.
started.
What is
with
that,
Sting, bro.
Quest,
Scorpion
what is
Death
it?
Drop.
That is Sting, the greatest wrestler of all time.
Oh, by the way,
Can you give us an
By the
example?
way, it's
yes,
on
I
the
used
way.
to put.
Not like on a person, but like
Nah, it's like
It's a sharpshooter.
it's a Scorpion Deathlock.
He take you like
So you got
backwards.
he put your leg
You know
you put
what
your
I'm
leg around, twist it around one leg, and then he flips you over and then sits on it.
Well, the actual name of the move is the
saying?
grapevine.
Okay.
the what?
It's called the grapevine.
Hell no, they don't do it.
So have you ever have you
Yes, I put it on mini kids.
Yeah, yeah.
I put it on mini kids playing wrestling. Yes, sir.
My son is definitely tapped out.
Nah. Fucking
crazy?
I don't know, bro.
So mine is a 2-way tie between the Sweet Chin Music, because you know you
One of my
tuned up the
favorites.
band,
I love seeing people do that. Yeah,
and the RKO.
Yeah,
Because
I
the RKO, you can hit on anybody.
anywhere.
And the fact that you have somebody do a flippity dippity and he hits
Hit
it,
us- yeah, legend killer boy.
just saying.
What's yours,
Yeah,
Merce?
nah, I was gonna say the RKO. That's, you know what I'm saying.
The RKO is like a
Diamond
stunner.
cutter.
a stunner. Yeah, a diamond cutter and a stunner.
It's the diamond cutter on steroids.
Yeah.
But the diamond cutter was always backwards too, where the RKO was front facing.
What's LA Knight's finisher? The BFT?
The diamond cutter was he grabs you.
I like
you're
that.
facing the opposite way. You fall down on your back.
No.
Yes.
No, diamond cutter. No.
Yes.
No. I promise you. No, I was a WCW head.
Diamond cutter, he'll lock you first.
So
and then-
basically, it's the RKO, but
the
he
same.
grips you and then just drops.
Yeah.
Where the RKO, he literally
that's- what
jumps
you're
in
thinking
the
is a
air.
neck breaker.
He flies through. Yeah.
What you think is a neck breaker? But before we conclude out of here, last thing, what's on the Super Bowl menu?
I don't know whatever Big's cooking.
I'm just hungry, dog.
So you knew we had to bust out the discussion of food. I'm a fat man in remission, but I'll still talk about food.
What you got? What you got on the menu?
So
Will?
I know the wifey is making her chicken wing dip, and she found a recipe for I think it was like a multi-cheese queso dip. So I had to get the over-the-border tortilla chips. I love those because I work at the
Over the border.
I work at the large department store. I don't know if I can say names with the Spark.
Don't tell the people where you work.
Yep, never
Because
that.
once your show blows up, they're gonna be outside your job.
Hey, they can come visit me. I don't care.
No,
Show blows
no,
up enough.
You
no,
don't want
Will.
that.
You
Job
don't
no
know, no.
Yo, there's a lot of weird people in this world.
Dude.
You're gonna be like, why?
Okay. There is a customer there
Yeah.
who comes in practically from a shirt from here to here, and that's it. We call her no pants.
Even in the winter?
And it could be blizzard, and she's no pants.
Well.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yo, is she thick?
No.
Damn.
No.
We was all thinking it too.
No. I'm serious. It's nasty.
All right.
Nasty.
Crazy how your brain goes there, right? I was like,
Immediately.
Yeah, facts. Yo, hey.
First thing that popped in my head is she got ass.
She had the cops called on her.
Oh man.
If she comes in like that again, she's being booted.
All right. So what is that? What else you got on the menu? That it?
That's
There's a couple
of my
pictures on here.
knowledge.
I don't know if y'all wanted to
No
show the
candy
people
bacon?
any of these pictures that we got.
I haven't made
loaded
that
up.
in a while.
I think we
This
should.
bacon is
Good to go?
expensive.
Yeah, we was being safe with it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, on Facebook, I know I've been informed that is allowed to be done.
Okay.
So roll the beautiful bean footage.
The what?
There's like as
don't
long as
remember
we're
that
talking
commercial,
about it,
Cap?
you got to show
what?
Rock and Roman.
Oh yeah,
This
the Rock
one right
and
here?
Roman. Yeah.
Oh, he said I'm gonna slap his fucking teeth out of his mouth. That shit had me crying.
See, that was the one thing that I forgot to say about how I went from Friday to about 7:30, pissed, and then the press conference.
Yeah.
The way they did that was beautiful. When The Rock stepped to him and said, "You talking about my family?" and
That was
smacked the shit
Come
out
on,
of
yo,
him.
look, that was unnecessary, fam.
Not really.
Nah, listen. All he said was the way y'all moving, your peoples would be disgraced by you.
Still, he's
That's
talking.
it. He didn't disrespect
They
the
made
people.
it a family
he ain't saying
war.
nothing crazy, but that's
Okay,
theatrics.
so if
You know what I'm
if
saying?
if somebody went to Vanna and said, "Yo, your dad would be disappointed in you," you're not gonna smack the shit out of him?
I am.
Exactly.
No, she
you ain't
prob-
even gotta answer.
No, she would probably smack the shit out of him.
And it's only
and that's
fair-
what happened. Yeah, I get it.
And it's
I
only
get it.
fair because Roman did say that your dad was irrelevant.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
only
yeah.
fair
It is
that
fair.
they jab.
Right.
So they made it a family war of the Samoan dynasty versus the Rhodes.
Yeah,
That's why.
That's why Roman didn't slap him though. The Rock
No,
did.
Rock did.
And now supposedly the
Rock was on some just give me a reason shit.
And now supposedly the Rock and Roman are going to be on this coming Friday.
Yeah, they about to be linked
Yo, it's
in.
gonna. What I heard is that it's gonna be at Elimination Chamber. It's gonna be Cody and Seth, but I don't know if Seth is healthy enough because of his knee, because he's still trying to make a comeback to even be in WrestleMania. So that's not even a guarantee yet. So, but that's been the whisper around the campfire that it's going to be those two versus those two, because the people in Australia, like the owners of the company, want The Rock to participate in that that Elimination Chamber pay per view.
That's already set up, bro. Like Roman and Rock tag.
But Seth's knee though, he's not.
Is he actually hurt or is that
No,
like
he's
when-
really, really his meniscus.
Because you know how people get injured so they get vacation time.
The
you know what I
idea
mean?
was for him to fucking lose the title so somebody could take over so he
So-
can go get right.
They had the perfect opportunity with that twice, and I think they dropped the ball with that. Because here's what I would have done. This is again I could write this shit. They had the perfect opportunity and they could have done it on Monday. But they can't do it now because they announced that the winner of the Elimination Chamber is going to face Seth at WrestleMania. What they could have done is Seth comes out to the ring and talks about what happened at the press conference, or The Rock comes out and talks about Seth butting his nose in, and then Seth comes out and they beat the dog shit out of him. And then Damian Priest comes in and cashes in. Because they could easily have created a storyline centered around Damian Priest. Because Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley have had tension between the two of them as to who's the leader of Judgment Day.
It was Finn for a while. He just
And-
got booted out of the forefront.
I think one of two things is now going to happen. Either she's going to cost him his cash in, or she's going to cause him to lose the title after he wins it. Because now you've got Dom I think he's going to make the Elimination Chamber.
I do too.
So here's what I think is going to happen. Whoever wins the Elimination Chamber is going to beat Seth at WrestleMania. And the perfect opportunity is to have it be Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
And then because of the tension between Drew and Damian when he tried to cash in, is you immediately have Damian cash in and take the title. And then have Drew align with Rhea to screw Damien over and take his place in the Judgment Day.
I like that. We're going to end it on that right there. You've been turning in our Nostradamus of what's been going on and seeing the future. What we want to say to all of our viewers, thank you so much for your support, your subscriptions, your liking of the page.
Yes,
please
everybody
like, comment, subscribe, and share. Will, take us out of here.
Yes, everybody that showed love with everything that happened, everybody that is watching or will be watching, I want to thank you. Much love, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Pins and Wins Podcast.